On this week's edition of the Overtime, we will take a look into NAU golf finishing up their clash at Boulder Creek events in Boulder City. Then, we will touch on NAU volleyball heading into their second half of the season. And finally, how Flagstaff High School football team has a 3-game losing streak. All that and more on this week's edition of the Overtime. Welcome back to the Overtime. My name is Hannah Ware, and I'll be your host for the night. Joining me tonight is Ava Nichols. Ava, are you ready to dive into this week's content?
Yes, I am, Hannah. Let's jump right in.
Starting off, NAU Golf started their season in early September. They've had a good season so far, but struggled to keep their top 10th place as they head into Nevada. Ava, what can you tell us about the Lumberjacks' struggle to keep their momentum in the clash at Boulder Creek?
NAU Golf has been performing well since their start in September. We've seen outstanding performances and new career records made by several Lumberjacks, including senior Elle Kakorkova and sophomore Ekaterina Malkova. The team even set a new school record this season for low round versus par at 9 under par 279. As the ladies hosted the clash at the Boulder Creek event Sunday, they struggled to keep their momentum. Sunday, the team finished in 13th. However, they sat only 2 strokes behind Sacramento State, the defending Big Sky champions. In a lower place than they had hoped for Sunday, the Lumberjacks were able to move up to 12th, where they remained at the end of tournament play Tuesday. With NAU having a large break to prepare for the spring season, we expect the team to move their way back into higher rankings.
Moving on to volleyball, the women's team has hit the halfway point of their season. Ava caught up with Coach Ken Murphy and senior star Ryan Davis to see how the team plans to move forward.
As NAU volleyball begins the second half of conference play Thursday, Coach Ken Murphy says the effects of COVID-19 are still an issue.
For the weekend coming up, I think both these teams were playing. They both had some players out with COVID the first time and COVID protocols. And so we kind of feel like we're playing new teams actually. And so I think it's important when we play them that we don't treat it like, we've already played them.
The team is led by Ryan Davis, who has had a remarkable senior season. Coach Murphy says Davis has earned the respect of her team.
Played a lot of volleyball in her life. And so I think there really aren't any situations that we can be in that she hasn't been in, so she can, give advice during those situations. But the main thing is I think she's just a good player, and I think they can follow the fact that she's always plays at a really similar level with a lot of confidence.
Davis says she wants to finish the season on a high note.
We just need to focus on ourselves, focus on what we do every day in practice, and have fun. I think sometimes that aspect gets lost a lot.
Ryan said she learned a lot about leadership from past teammates, and she's glad to pass it along.
It's definitely been one of my favorite seasons so far. Just contributing so much to the team. I'm just trying to be that older figure for them since we are so young.
Ava Nichols, NAZ Today.
It seems that Ryan Davis has found a role as a leader of the team with her hard work and eager attitude. They struggled in the start of their season with 4 consecutive losses and a few canceled games as well. As they headed into the Lumberjack Classic, it seems like Davis and the other few seniors left pushed the team to turn their season around. They currently stand 8-11 overall. Ava, you've been to a few games yourself as well. What do they need to do to improve?
Yeah, Hannah, I was actually able to go out to their game last Thursday with their matchup against Montana State, where I watched a hard 5-set loss. I think it's important for NAU volleyball to view every opponent as a new team going into the second half of conference play. Last Thursday night, 2 seniors, Aubrey Banfield and Ryan Davis, set new career highs, bringing in 33 assists and 13 kills respectively. The Lumberjacks were able to leave a win and roll before they head back onto the road. They quickly turned things around and beat Montana in 3 straight sets last Saturday night. Tomorrow they face off the Idaho Vandals. The Lumberjacks swept this team in roll 3-0. It seems there is no consistency whether they're playing at home or away as far as wins and losses go, so it'll be interesting to see how the Lumberjacks perform. They need to get a winning streak going if they have any hopes of playing in the Big Sky Championships.
Moving on to some high school athletics, the Flagstaff football team is struggling to keep what they started earlier in the season. Winning by landslides and even shutting out the Washington Rams in their second game 48-0. The team took a turn for the worst as they continue a losing streak of 3 games as of right now. On senior night last Friday, they lost to Bradshaw 19-0. Ava, what's your take on this season so far?
Most schools plan for wins on senior night as a way to say farewell to their graduating players. Unfortunately, that was not in the cards for the Eagles. I have to say, as a former athlete, losing on senior night is always a bummer. The Flagstaff Eagles hosted the Bradshaw Mountain Bears in the Dome last Friday night, moving both teams' overall records to stand at 4-3. The Bears scored their first touchdown with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, with a 24-yard pass completed to junior Tanner Mitchell. The Bears picked up an interception just before halftime and were able to score another touchdown, making the score 13-0 at half. About halfway through the third quarter, the Bears were able to pick up their final touchdown. The Eagles still have a few more opportunities to end the season on a high note, including the rivalry game against the Coconino Panthers.
Coming up after the break, we have a debate between sports reporter Ava Nichols and Cameron Richardson.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction
And response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the Overtime. My name is Cameron Richardson, and with me is Ava Nichols. We're going to discuss NU football and NU soccer, but first off, we're going to talk the Lumberjacks lost to Sacramento State last weekend. They lost 44-0, a complete shutout, and just the prior weekend, they beat Idaho State by scoring 59 points. So Ava, what went wrong with NU football?
I think they were lacking in more than just a few aspects. Defensively, Sacramento State had 200 more yards, total yards, than the Lumberjacks. I had a former strength coach that always said, win the inch. I don't think the Lumberjacks were able to do that. They were stopped on fourth downs twice just in the second half alone.
Yeah, and NU's rushing game, which has been their best asset this season, didn't even run for over 70 yards, and their passing game was weak. But Sacramento State, over 400 yards passing, over 250 yards on the ground, just beat NU in every facet. I don't know what to say about this NU team, but we'll see if their leadership can turn it around going to Idaho this weekend. But going to NU soccer on a more positive note, they've won 6 games in a row entering the Big Sky Conference Tournament after a struggling start to the season where their defense wasn't all that great. And, they had to rely on a freshman goaltender to make some stops. And that's just a lot of pressure to put on the first-time collegiate athlete. So, Ava, do you think NU soccer can make a deep run knowing that they've won 6 games in a row going into it?
I do think they did. I think they gained some momentum. I think they won the important games, which all 6 of their recent wins have been Big Sky wins. The 2 teams they lost to are both seated in front of them in the tournament, which is Northern Colorado and Montana. So it'll be interesting to see what they do against those opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any win streak is great. It's some great momentum. And maybe NU can make that deep run and get back to where they were last year, and hopefully no COVID outbreaks happen. That'll do it for our discussion here. Back to you, Hannah.
After the break, Cameron Richardson will have the latest on what's to come in sports this weekend.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in. Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Top of the evening, and in case you forgot, my name is Cameron Richardson, and I'll be informing you on all the action taking place this weekend with our great programs here in Flagstaff. Starting off with Coconino football, the Panthers take their vicious rushing attack to Prescott, the Valley part, for a date with Bradshaw Mountain tonight at 7. Simultaneously, this time in the city part of Prescott, the Flagstaff Eagles will do battle with the Prescott Badgers after a disappointing loss to Bradshaw Mountain. On to NU athletics. It's going to be a busy weekend for women's tennis as they compete in the University of New Mexico Invitational from Friday until Sunday. Through the week, men's tennis has competed in the Lumberjack Classic and will close out the Invitational Saturday at 9 o'clock a.m. right here in Flagstaff. After getting stung by a nest of hornets, NU football will seek vengeance in Moscow as they try to vandalize Idaho in the Kibbe Dome Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. You can catch that game on ESPN+. Finally, NU volleyball will also be in Idaho as they clash with the Vandals Saturday at 6 o'clock p.m. That'll do it for this weekend of sports. Hannah, do you think these teams will be able to bring that big trust mentality to NU this weekend?
I'm not too sure because as far as NAU football goes, they're not having too hot of a season and they are one of the lowest ranking teams in Division I. However, last season they did beat the Vandals 19-9, so it's kind of a gamble heading into the weekend. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thanks to sports reporter Ava Nichols and Cameron Richardson for joining me on this week's edition of the Overtime. And don't forget to follow us on social media and have a great rest of your weekend.